everyone, welcome to this week's Halton Hills housing update. So I did miss last week because I was on vacation. So this week I'm going to do a quick overview of what happened for the last 2 weeks in terms of sales and new listings, and then we will talk about where our inventory is currently sitting going into Christmas. So now looking at where our sales and new listings have been. So for the week of December 13th, we had 9 sales in Georgetown and 7 new listings. So we are literally so consistent. Between like 8 and 11 sales every week in Georgetown is just where it's at. And so it's interesting because we are not getting the new listings, and so we are just going to see inventory continuing to drop going into the new year. So it's going to be interesting. So 9 sales the week of December 13th, 7 new listings. Last week we had 8 sales and only 4 new listings. So new listings have really slowed down. We are used to seeing double-digit new listings every single week. So 7 and then 4, like we are really slowing down, and sales are sort of remaining stable. And so these kind of numbers are really holding our market back from like prices plummeting because it's supply and demand, and our supply is significantly down compared to where it was when our prices were really plummeting. So really interesting stuff to watch. In Acton, the week of December 13th, we had 2 sales and no new listings. But last week we had no sales and 1 new listing. So not a ton going on in Acton. That inventory still is sitting pretty high and could use some movement, that's for sure. But a little bit of stuff going on, but not a lot of new listings, again, coming on the market in December. Glen Williams has had no sales in the last 2 weeks, and last week we had 1 new listing in the Glen. So nothing crazy happening there. Limehouse for the last 2 weeks, no sales, no new listings. The rural market, the week of December 13th, we had 1 sale and 1 new listing, so pretty stable. And last week we had no sales and no new listings. So basically the theme for the last 2 weeks is we are seeing quite a bit of sales still happening in Georgetown, but not really anywhere else. And we just are not seeing a lot of new listings. This is very common for December. This is what always happens. It's just more interesting to watch this year because we are anticipating that 2023 is not going to be the most amazing year in real estate. I mean, there's a lot going on with interest rates, and so going into January with very low inventory is not surprising, but going to be interesting to see if that helps keep our pricing pretty stable. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Anyways, looking at where our inventory sits, this is the real piece. So 2 weeks ago on December 6th, we were at 142 active listings in all of Halton Hills. We are now down to 126 active listings in all of Halton Hills. That is a far cry from the 180, 190 that we were seeing in the summer. So big changes in terms of where our active inventory is sitting, and only 126, like that's only a few weeks away from getting back into double digits and going under 100. Going to be interesting to see where this goes. Georgetown, we are down from 79 to 69 active listings this week. Georgetown is definitely the market that is feeling the most movement right now. And we certainly were feeling the highest levels of inventory in Georgetown, but we're still the only market that's pretty consistently moving in Georgetown. So 69, that is our lowest number since I think March. And so will be interesting to see how this continues to go down over the course of the next few weeks without seeing new listings coming on the market, because we will definitely see a virtual stop in new listings hitting the market. So now looking at our active price points, under 800,000 is down from 11 to 10 active listings. We actually have a couple of freehold properties under the 800,000 mark now, which is different. We were only seeing condo townhouses and condo apartments, so that's different. 800 to $1 million is down from 17 to 15 active listings. This price point is still our most active price point. It has the most I guess, variety available for the price, and it still is definitely where we're seeing the majority of our sales falling week to week. 1 to 1.5 million is down significantly. We were at 31 active listings a few weeks ago. We are down to 22 active listings in that price point. That's kind of a shocking number to me. It's been sitting very high. We had over 50 units for a long time in that price point. So to be down to 22 is just showing that things are either coming off the market or being purchased, and our inventory is definitely coming down in Georgetown. So 1.5 million plus is the only price point that is up. We were at 20 active listings. We are up to 22 active listings. And that price point is just not moving. It is so rare to see a sale over $1.5 million now. So that price point, just, if you are a seller in that price point, you need to either reevaluate where your pricing is, or like hold on for like a long ride, because prices certainly are not, I don't think, going up into the new year. So this price point and this pocket especially is the one that I would say is hurting the most. And again, a lot of the people are just holding on to what their neighbors got, and it's really not realistic for the current market that we're in. People need to realize like between 20 and 30% is what we're down. So if your neighbor sold for $2 million, you are worth under 1.5 probably right now. So that's just something for those sellers to keep in mind. So looking at Acton, that inventory is technically down, but still very high. We were at 28, we're down to 26 active listings in Acton, but very high number for Acton. And it is just not dropping the way Georgetown's numbers are. But what we will see is as Georgetown's inventory drops and there's less options in Georgetown, we should see sales pick back up in Acton. So we'll be watching that. Glen Williams is up slightly from 7 to 8 active listings. Not a lot moving in the Glen, a lot of high ticket stuff that falls over that 1.5 million, and so not many sales happening in the Glen. Limehouse remained the same at 4, and the rural market actually dropped down to 19 active listings from 24. So the rural market saw a drop. It mostly was correlated to properties coming off the market, but for their inventory to be under 20 is something we haven't seen in a long time either. So I digress. That was a lot of talking today, but everything that's happening is exactly what we thought would happen in December. We are not seeing a ton of new listings, but sales are still happening, especially in Georgetown, at a pretty consistent level. So I think going into January we're going to have low inventory. We know this. And I would argue that January will probably be the best month if you are a seller in 2023. I think we are going to start to see a shift in the market, and things will probably go down throughout 2023. Just interest rates are so high. Lots of people from 2017, 2018 in the renewal process. And, you know, it's just going to be a really, I think, different market in 2023. So if you're a seller, I think January is a great time to be thinking of putting your house on the market, because we are going in with very low inventory levels in comparison to where we have been this back half of 2022. So I'll be back next Tuesday to report what happens as we continue into this December. So I hope you all have a great Christmas, and I'll be back next Tuesday. Have a great week, everyone.